All right. It says I'm going live. Let's see if it comes across my phone. First time testing this, so give me a minute. Testing on my phone. It's been an interesting trying to get this all set up. Not quite sure. Okay, shows that it's running. It says I'm going live. Ooh, let's see. I'm gonna mute that. All right, so that means I am working. Okay. All right, thank you everybody for holding on. I apologize. I'm gonna get started a tiny bit early here. All right. Okay, it's been really fun. I haven't streamed in quite a while. Completely different setup, completely different computer, completely different everything. So I'm just gonna get started. I wanted everything to be perfect, but I decided that perfection is probably not a good idea, or at least not possible. Let's see. Sound seems to be okay. Let me double check on my phone here real quick, make sure everything is working properly. Seems to be. Okay. I'm going to call that good. All right. I hope everybody's ready. Let's get going here. Start the game up. I'm going to switch over. There we go. And you should be able to see me now. Yeah, there we go. Let me check the video again here. I want to check the sound, how good it is compared to my voice. All right, sounds pretty good. Okay. So, a little backstory. When I was very young, I played a game called Geneforge. Geneforge. I call it Geneforge because it's genes. Geneforge, as in the DNA, right? I played a game called Geneforge way back when. And for me, it was really an interesting, I don't know, it was a huge part of my childhood and my psyche kind of as I started to get older. And this game came out in 2001. This game is a remaster made in 2021. So when I heard about this coming out, I was like, oh my God, I gotta buy it. I gotta stream it. I gotta like put it out there, right? Here's the problem. I was gonna stream it, like I said, and then I was like, it needs to be perfect. The stream needs to be perfect. Everything needs to be set up. I need to have like a cool background. I need to have like everything I could possibly think of. But it's been a year, and yeah, so I kind of wasted the time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to get started, and I have some stuff sort of set up over here. I have it all kind of set up the way I want, but including the stream, and hopefully it's good, or sounds good, it looks good, it feels good. But we're gonna just go jump in, and every episode I'm gonna make it better, and we'll go from here. I used to have a lot of other streaming stuff here on the channel, a lot of space engineers and stuff, but I've kind of I don't know, like I didn't want to stream that game anymore because it was kind of like, that's my passion game, not really not really a game that's good for streaming. Anyway, so Geneforge, it is an indie RPG, and for me, I've looked up like a ton of different RPGs this year, and for me, none of them really like speak to me. None of them seem like they're going to be that interesting. And if this game is anything like it was, 20 years ago, I'm really, really hopeful. Now, you can actually buy the original game and there's original series. So there's a series 1 through 5. You can buy the original series, and then you can buy now there's 1 and 2 of remasters. I'm planning on basically streaming as much as I can with them and just recording my escapades in the new game because I'm super excited. But So you can buy all of them. Here's the thing. So they were made over a series of years. When I was in high school, he made the fifth one. So the fifth one is actually pretty up to date as well. The problem is they're story based, so they're like in sections. So if you play one out of order from 5, right? So if you play 5 and then 1, you're not going to know what the hell's going on. So I'm hoping that, you know, people will see this game more and more often and actually get to play it and experience it just like I am, right? So I've been talking here for a little bit. I'm gonna double check all of my sound on my my phone here. Give me one moment. Okay, it looks like my voices might be a little loud. So I'm gonna check that. Give me 1 second. Where is that? We're going to crank down the input gain by 2 points. And yeah, so I'm gonna do these. I know that the old games were streamed, and the Spiderweb software, these guys, they've made it's mostly one guy, Jeff Vogel, I think his name is, and it's mostly one guy, and he's been making games since 1994, which is my birth year. So it's kind of like a perfect alignment. But yeah, so let's just get started. I'm excited. Okay. So hopefully the sound isn't too loud. I'm going to turn it down on my headphones a little bit here. All right. Go. Okay. All right. So, oh man. Okay. So we have 3 different character types you can basically, or archetypes that you can build. So there's Shaper, Guardian, Agent. Now I know what these are, but just go through them real quick. So Shapers are skilled at magic and unmatched in their ability to create powerful creatures. However, they are physically frail. A Shaper will have to rely on its creations for protection. Guardians. Guardians are the defenders of the Shapers. They are highly skilled in melee combat and can create creatures to aid them in assault. However, their magical skills are otherwise weak. Agents. Agents travel around on the command of the Shapers and solve problems, usually violently. Their magic and weapon skills are strong, but they are not good at creating creatures. Agents tend to be harder to play. So, basically, your agent is like your rogue ranger type. They have magic, they have weapons, but they're not good at shaping. Now, shaping is a special thing that I don't know that. The only other thing that I've ever seen have anything near shaping is like maybe Pokemon, but I've never played anything Pokemon. Pokemon, whatever. Basically, you create creatures, and I don't know of any other game that has anything even close to it. So I'm very excited to play that. So they're bad at shaping. Guardians are good at shaping and melee, but not magic. And then, so there's shaping and magic, and they're both different, but they're similar. If that makes sense. They're both like, you know, magical things, but they're separate in the world. I think everything seems good so far. Man, I haven't dropped any frames. I think we're good. I just want to check on everything. Yeah. Okay. Looks like we're good. So shaping is what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for shaping and magic. I don't really care that much about physical needs or whatever. So I'm actually going to keep, actually, I'll change the name. I'm going to change the name to my stream name here. Okay. Okay. And I probably should be watching chat. I'm going to pop this out. Weird, because I have never streamed using YouTube before, so I'm so scared I'm gonna break something. All right, I can see all chat messages now. Great. Maybe I should move this around a little bit differently. I don't know. Anyway, so it says it's going well, so I'm gonna continue. No drop frames. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so we're going to do shaping. Let's go. We're going to do normal, I think. Even though I know how to play, been a while, and there might be some changes because it's obviously you know, a remake. So, all right, getting chapped lips here. Normal it is. Let's go. The Shapers are the oldest, most respected, most secretive, and most powerful of the magical sects. Oh my god, this art. I'm just dying. They have the power to create life. The Shapers can make new life forms from nothing but organic matter and pure magic. They can mold this life to serve any purpose, be it light housework or major warfare. The Shapers guard the secrets of their powers very closely. To learn their techniques without permission is to court a speedy death at the hands of the Guardians in the day or the Agents in the night. After years of work, study, and testing, you have finally been accepted into the Shapers. It is the greatest honors. It is of the greatest honor. You will spend your life advancing their will and their secrets. First, you must complete your apprenticeship. You must spend 5 years out in a Shaper colony on a remote island, watching their work and aiding their research. The journey is 2 weeks long. You travel on a living craft, a specially modified drake, that will sail you to your destination. After a week's journey, you pass close to a small island. Your chart identifies it as Susia Island or Susia Island. It is barred by the Shapers, forbidden for unknown reasons, dangerous accidents, valuable secrets. Visiting it is punishable by death. You watch Susia Island, wondering what secrets lie there, and thus you fail to notice the warship off to the east. Your craft cries out in alarm, alerting you. The ship is of an unfamiliar style. It instantly fires a long spear at your craft. Razor sharp bolt strikes your Dryak in the neck. It roars in anger and breathes a bolt of fire at the attacker. It strikes the enemy's sails and sets them ablaze. The battle takes only seconds. Your living craft flounders, mortally wounded, dropping you into the water. Your equipment sinks into the depths. You start to sink into the rough waves, but with one last effort, your living craft saves you. Bleeding, dying, it drags you towards Susia Island. You grab onto the crumbling docks, barely conscious. Your craft slumps against the shore, dying. You are left alone, abandoned on a forbidden shore, marooned on Susia Island. So I don't know if it's Susia. Let me. That was very quick. Jesus. So in the original game, they had them like as like pages, and you just click next whenever you're ready. That was really, really fast. Also, there's almost no voice acting in this game, if not none. I don't know anymore, but I'm pretty sure there's none. I'm gonna do Google Translate. I'm gonna do
Sucia.
oh, that's Spanish.
Sucia.
Sucia. Okay, Sucia it is. And then
Dryak.
Drake? I'm okay. So as a kid, you don't know how to say these, so it's like, what are you supposed to do? I'm gonna call that a Dryak, because that's what I've
Dryak.
because that's what I've always called it. And Susia Island. Okay. I mean, I thought I've been wrong for all these years because I was a kid, but I guess I'm probably right. Okay, here we go. All right. So, again, it's RPG, isometric, and no voice acting at all. So we got. So this is definitely different than the original game. So just give me a second here. So we're looking. So we have skills and training. Okay. This is very similar to the 5th game, actually, by the looks of it. There's combat, okay. Dagger, firebolt. Doesn't have abilities or items to use, okay. I don't think I can make your creation yet. Yep, I can't do that yet. And I can click around. Can I use my mouse? Okay, I can use the arrow keys to move side to side. Okay, great. Ooh. Okay, stagger off the docks, weakened to the point of collapse by your desperate swim here. After a few minutes, you manage to regain enough of your senses to look around. You are on the south coast of the mysterious island. However, apart from the fact that the island was declared barred by your people, you know nothing about it. You wish you had already started your shaper training. Islands are generally barred because of failed experiments and the presence of hostile, horrible, rogue creations. Worrying, fortunately, except for all the lapping waves on the base of the dock, all is quiet. If you're going to be devoured, it won't be soon. However, you are still stranded and desperately weak as well. Fortunately, the beach stretches off to the east. Maybe you can find supplies and help. I don't know if I just don't. I don't know if I'm just not used to the way the language is in this game. And again, it's probably written a little different from the original game, but I'm having stumbling over some words there. So I think there's, okay. So G is inventory. Yeah, pick up items, select an item. Okay. So what are the other keys? Keyboard shortcuts. Oh yeah, G is get item. Is there like a look? No. Okay. So yeah, F is start and stop combat. That's really interesting, that little... Okay. Oh man. I can't click on the Dryak. Oh, well, I mean, they said it was dead, so... And again, I do remember a lot of this game. Again, because this is a remake, the original version, but I'm very interested to see how much has changed or if I remember it differently. Someday I might play the original, but we'll see. So this is trash. Yeah. So it has a pound. So it gives you some stuff. So during calmer moments, you sometimes pause to reflect on Sushi Island's dire need for an effective recycling program. Okay, 1 pound. I don't want to pick that up because why would I pick up trash? Yep, same here. More trash. So some things you can click on. So I know some of the basics. Obviously, you can click on certain items. I think if you hold tab, tab shows you northwest, east, south, and then it also shows you what you can click on. At least if it's not hidden, as far as I know. Hidden stuff I don't think does. But, so there's tab, G for get, I for inventory, which is the same, F for start and stop fights. These sounds are from Avernum, I think. So it's actually a little different than what I'm used to. Try moving your cursor to the edge. I turn that off because I might be moving outside of the game window here for a little bit. Yeah. All right. So you're currently walking east. Oh, goodness. Yeah. I know get. Can you show me that again? Currently walking east in Geneforge. The upper right is not. Yeah. Okay. I know that all. That's fine. We don't need to know about that. And I can actually pick up right here. Here's a cloak. So you can see, even though there's like a background, I keep looking over there because I'm like looking at my OBS, but like here's the camera. So like, maybe I should put that over there. So it's, anyway. So you'll see on the ground, you can kind of see something there, but like, it looks like there's stuff all over the place. If you press G, you can actually see if there's something actually there. I wonder if you hold T or tab. It doesn't. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So G. I accidentally pressed F. Let's turn that off. Okay. So there's no drag and drop. You have to click and then click on your character and it'll drop it there. Also, obviously, there's no like color changing on your character apparently. I think in the original one they had like you could change the color of your character, but it was just like the overlay color. Get all items. Oh, okay. So that transfers it just over. And junk. This is junk. You can sell them back at town. Okay. Well, there you go. You got a little bit of information. There's towns. Oh, man. It's going to be interesting. There's a tunnel to the north, built into the side of a hill. Your guess is that it is a storeroom or warehouse. Usually, one is placed near the docks of the settlement. Structure is crumbling. You would guess that it has been abandoned for at least a century, probably 2. After all of these years, most of the goods inside are probably useless. You might still be able to scavenge something useful. I'm going to do another check real quick on the stream. Give me 1 moment. Okay. Yep. Looks okay. I think we're good. All right. I'm just going to keep going. I'm not even going to stop again. Probably. Unless I get error messages or something. Yeah. All right. So this is a little like cave. or maybe not a cave. It looks like a building, warehouse or something like they said. So those aren't anything to pick up, but if I hold tab, I can see this is something here. Nothing in there. So yeah, you can just select your character and then you can like click and they'll move. If you click and then click again, okay. There's an office to the west. The shelves on the wall have nothing on them but dust. The cabinet in the back corner, however, might have something useful. Okay, so these are cabinets. Javelins. I like javelins. I remember these. Yeah, okay, so you can put them in a second. So you have two forms of combat. So, oh, okay, so you have the melee. You have ranged, which bows, thorn whips, javelin, stuff like that. Melee, which is like your average sword or whatever. I think it's just swords, unless again the game has changed. And then you have magic and you have creation. So there are a few different types of combat in this game. A bowl. Most people in Shaper Society eat food with a simple bowl and spoon. Shapers are concerned with much more lofty pursuits than mere cuisine. So the Shapers are, and it says Shaper Society. So Shapers are kind of like the overruling like force in the world. There isn't like, at least in the known world, there isn't like other sets of people. Like they are the governing body. Same with this one. Okay, so I don't need those because they don't. So if, as far as I know, they should have below the weight, it'll have like a coin price if it's worth anything. These are bones. As you are now, this once was. No, I did that wrong. As you are now, this was once. As this is now, soon you will be. Dot dot dot. Okay. Ooh, okay. So this comes lights up, and you have that sound. I'm gonna stop talking so you can listen to it. Come on. That's really subtle, but really cool. And yeah, so I remember this from the original game. You can walk up to these like sliding doors, and they like automatically slide for you. Okay, here we go. Inside this small chamber, you find several cylindrical containers. They look like canisters, each about 4 foot high. The sides are made of thick, carefully blown glass. Most of them have been broken, and the contents are long lost. One of them, however, is still intact. Inside, you see a glowing fluid. It swirls and moves about, seemingly under its own power. It looks like it is, in its own way, alive. It probably is. You've seen similar objects. The Shapers can store essence concoctions filled with life energy, which heal or energize those in need. This must be something like that. There's a sharp metal needle emerging from the top. If you let it poke the palm of your hand, substance will emerge and energize you. In your weakened state, it seems hard to resist. Select the canister to use it. So you can see it has like a little needle on the top. So basically you put your hand on top, right? And when you open the canister, the agents inside begin to act upon you. You feel changed. You're suddenly struck by a dizzy spell, driving you to your knees. It is not caused by fear, hunger, or fear, but by the side effects of the strange substance in that canister. The essence-infused emerald goo didn't heal or revive you like you expected. It changed you. It's like it soaked into your skin and rewrote some of your very being, making you stronger. A strange urge and instinct seizes you. You extend your fingers and focus. Tiny trails of flame shoot out of them. Magic. Actual magic. What would have taken years of training, you've learned to do in an instant. It is exhilarating and, at the same time, utterly alien. You had no idea that your people could do something so wonderful. And you feel a deep compulsion to find more of these canisters. These canisters are the main way you can gain new abilities on Sushi Island. You can now cast Firebolt. Go. So abilities, Firebolt. So if I hover over this, I get A, and then I can press A to then use Firebolt and fire it at something. So you can actually do a lot of key combinations in this game. Really good. All right. G. Nothing on the ground. Tab. Okay, so I can open the desk. See copper coins. So it says value and an amount, and then I don't have a weight if it's like a weighty item. The coins you can just pick up. The box contains a variety of papers. You rifle through them equally, hoping for a clue as to where you are and what might have caused the island to be barred. Barred? Bared? It's no use. The papers crumble at your touch. Beneath the papers, though, you find something interesting. It's a brass key. None the worse for wear for its long concealment. You take it. All right. And then I think I found another cloak. Yep. So you see there, it has the weight. Cloaks aren't really worth anything because these are just basic cloaks. And then I can pick it up by pressing A. So I can press G, A, and then I immediately have... Oh, excuse me. Immediately picked something up. Here we go. All right. Let's leave. Oh, this symbol is the symbol of the shapers. Right. Tab. Ooh, okay, this is different, I think. Path farther into the island is blocked by a thick stone door, marked with the symbol of shapers. There you go. So this symbol, that symbol. You hear a soft, reassuring voice. Juicy Island has been barred by the shapers. For more information, send a request to the council. Only full shapers are allowed entry. Shaper qualities have been detected within you. You may pass. Please do not remove or interact with any. And the voice cuts out. Strange. I'm dyslexic, so I sometimes skip words and move things around. So this might actually help me to do this. Ooh, it's like a ghost. I think I remember this a little bit. Yeah, okay, it was just different. There's a shade standing in front of you. It is a hazy, insubstantial humanoid. It warps and twists in the light breeze. You suspect a strong wind would tear it apart. It hovers in the air, staring at you, though you can't make out any features. You can clearly tell it is watching you. Special encounters like this one give you several actions to choose from. So this is like a tutorial area. Sorry. So this is like a tutorial area. So like you're gonna get like all these like extra things, but you normally don't have these. Okay, so I could attack the shade, which is option 3, which is also number 3. So I could press number 3, and number 3 would allow me to attack the shade. 2, why are you watching me? 1, I've been shipwrecked on this island. Well, I don't know why I'm shipwrecked on the island, so I'm going to press 1. Shade does not respond. It continues to watch you. Excuse me. An insect flies through it, slightly disturbing its misty surface. This is strange. Sometimes shades like this are ghosts. Other times they are spies or scouts, woven from the essence of a shaper's to explore, learn, return, and report. Are you a ghost? Were you alive once? Are you a creation? I hear the background, and I can hear it like it's like the back left of my ear, so it feels like somebody's behind me. It's really creepy. Are you a creation? Did someone send you to find me? Oh, by the way, there are multiple options in conversations, and you can fuck up conversations. Not fuck up, but like cause yourself to get in trouble or get cool things from talking. So it's like the chat actually does something. It changes things. The shade does not respond for a moment. Then it starts to slowly move towards you. Then it begins to break apart as if the motion was too much for it. It dissolves rapidly in the warm sunlight. You are alone in the clearing. Okay. So creepy ghost thing. Oh, okay. So here we go. So healing pod. This gourd contains specially formulated and mild enchanted shaper-made goo. Eating it has some beneficial effect. Fortunately, it keeps for a long time. Pods help only you. Use spores to help your entire group. Value 10, charges 1. Ability healing pod. So it's like a healing potion. Goodness. I didn't know I was so tired. Jesus. So it's like a healing potion from any other game or anything. So basically, yeah, and the game is set in like a medieval time, maybe even pre-medieval. Like it's not a glass gourd. Like it's not a glass container because like why would you waste to do that? It's a gourd. It's like an interesting, funny like thing. I can also take this and I can put it here, I think. Yeah. So what I can do is I can press 1 and it'll actually heal me whatever the healing pod does. And the healing pod is only 1 heal though. So I want to keep that special. Rock. This is one of Sushi Island's many native stones. It has a tiny bit of moss on it. That's it. Just it's flavor text everywhere. I love it. So there's actually an extra passage over here. So we're going to walk this way. So I don't see anything to click on, but if I press G, it's a stick. Stick weighs 2. Basic attack club. So they're technically clubs, I guess then. 3 to 5 physical damage, 10%. Currently using dagger, which is obviously better. I have to go get some Diet Pepsi or something. Jeez. Get some caffeine. Ooh. Okay, let's walk back. Okay. And there's a box. Let's click on the box. So I got a tunic. I got a shield. Okay, so let's see if we can put the shield on. I can. So in this game, if you can't wear something or it has like a special thing that it does to your body, as far as I know, from the previous game, of course, it will restrict you or it'll tell you in its description. So it's good to kind of have that, obviously. Then there's a tunic, which would swap out my robe. Shapers and mages are generally fond of heavy robes and dramatic cloaks. They are woven with materials that provide resistance against elemental attacks. Okay, so the tunic is only 1% physical and 1% magical. The robe is a lot more, so we're going to keep the robe. I'm also going to take this with me. I might be able to sell it, though I don't know if I am. Oh, okay, that switches my main weapon. Okay. So I'm going to pick up the dagger, because the dagger will probably be worth something. Yep, 20 coins. I don't see anything else. And then there's this lever. When your keys unlocks the chains, you pull the lever, and the door slid open. Now that you've made progress, you should save your game. Oh, yeah. Okay. So F3 is a quick save. Escape, save. Yeah, so I briefly attempted to make sure that this game was working. But we're going to save over that. Hey, these were probably barracks for some guardians or agents. They were abandoned years ago. The beds have rotted away, and there is trash everywhere. Whoever was here left very quickly. 2 chests were left behind. So the Shapers are the primary sect of the Shaper culture, but they're also like a type of person. It's an ability you can shape. Then you are a Shaper. Yeah, so like an agent or guardian is part of the society and the culture of Shapers, but they're not actual Shapers. Because that's not like their primary ability. Generally, like guardians and agents don't shape, but in this game they do because they want you to have that ability. So I'm going to put dagger and or javelins, which automatically went over to my my inventory. Tunic. Okay, see if there's anything else on the ground. There's this lever, which doesn't do anything. Okay. We're just gonna... that was a weird sound. Once again, you find you are not alone. There's a roamer just ahead watching you. A roamer is a creation. It is a creature invented and improved by your people for use as scouts or an attack dog. Since it is a creation, it should be naturally inclined to obey you. However, this creature isn't servile to you at all. It doesn't look hostile. It's just staring at you. It's an eerie feeling being watched by a creation in this way. Creations have always obeyed you mindlessly before. It is clear that whatever this island is, Shapers have been here. However, if this isle is full of rogue creations, you may have a serious problem. When you get close to the roamer, it sniffs at you, then it gets nervous and runs away. Odd. Okay. Ah, this is making me giddy. I'm sorry. Amazing. Okay, so I have a few healing pods. I don't know which way it went. It probably went north. You also have the little mini map up here. Okay, I don't think there's anything I need to click up on there. Also, this is to show other areas. That's interesting. Okay. So, you immediately recognize this place. It was an inn where visitors and travelers could stop for steaks specifically, interesting, drinks, and sleep. The crumbling, roasting pit still dominates the center of the room. You're getting confused. This island was once fully settled. Why? Most islands are barred because of experiments gone awry, and most such experiments are performed by the small labs in crude quarters safely from society. Yet, you've seen warehouses, guard posts, and now an inn. At one point, a lot of shapers lived here. Now they're all gone. Why? What could have driven so many people off, and what took their place? Dot dot dot. This is a very long game, by the way. Like 40 hours, easy. So it looks like there's a switch here. Pull the lever. I think stream still looks good. Yep. All right, there we are. Okay. All right, so there's a clay pot here. Open this. Obviously, again, this is like a training area, so like you can actually blow past this pretty quickly, but I'm going a little slower than I would when I played the game originally, just because of it being, you know, obviously on stream. So this area is very, very similar to the original game. Looking to the north, you can see that you're not alone on this island. Though you were notified about horrible mutant creatures, you were worried about horrible mutant creatures, the next creatures you encounter are nowhere near so terrifying. It is a flock of orcs. Orcs? Oh, I'm going to say that like orcs. Like pig, but anyway. The orc is a shaper creation. It is slow, clumsy livestock animal, hardy and laden with meat. Shapers create them to stalk lands unfriendly to non-created animals, such as, apparently, this one. You notice that these orcs have large tusks, probably added by the shapers to protect them from predators. Fortunately, they're likely to leave you alone if you leave them alone. So that's every bit here is giving you like an idea of what shaper culture is. And in this case, it's saying, you know, they created creatures to serve them as livestock that could breed and like live in really harsh areas. Oh my god, uncomprehending stare. That's really funny. So if I hold tab, I can see orc. They're not hostile. I can right click on it. Stats level 1, health 13, neutral. No resistances except for stun. That's interesting. Okay. There's a lot of them. So in the original game, I would actually kill all of the orcs because it can give you some levels and experience. I don't know that I'm going to do that here, but I guess I could, but it depends. Do we want to do it? It depends on what kind of character we want to be, right? Which does have an effect. To open this door, you need to unlock the lever. Your mechanics skill is 2 or higher. Just select it to open it. Otherwise, you need to bring a living tool here, use it, and then select the lever. Living tool is another special item in the game. So there's, okay, and earlier I picked up a crystal. This is a precious stone. The serviles on the island value them and will gladly buy them from you. Serviles, that's another thing that you want to keep in mind. Thorns. Shapers grow these thorns on specially bred bushes. They are loaded into batons, and fired at enemies. If you fire an unloaded baton, you will automatically reload it with thorns in your inventory. And more coins, copper discs. Okay, so batons are very interesting. It's like it's like a combination of a creature, and we'll get to it in a minute. But thorns are useful. So if I click here, it says I need 3 living tools, or it said earlier down here, the mechanic skill. So let's go to our character and look at our skills. We're probably going to come back. Yeah. So you can actually upgrade your skills manually. And one of my favorite skills is mechanics and leadership skills. So mechanics enables you to use fewer living tools to open locks and disarm traps. Leadership increases the number of options in conversation, helps you convince characters to aid you. Each point increases your your creation's mental resistance by 2%. Interesting. Okay. Stealth. Ooh, okay. This is new. Each point reduces the distance that enemies creatures can see you at by one combat space. If you are near an enemy too long, the bonuses from stealth slowly goes down. Okay. That'll be interesting. Evasion, quick action. Okay, some of these are, I believe, are like a mix of their other games. So they have a Better Web Software, the guy that made the game. He has a few other game series. One of them is called Avernum, which is more popular, which is really interesting to me. I don't know why, because I love this game, and I don't know why people would like Avernum over Geneforge. But anyway, Avernum, some of the games are in like a newer format and a newer like style. And some of these I think are from there. So I think that he's like kind of mixing them a little bit. Ooh, abilities. Okay. So these are like spells. And these are the different creatures I can create. So I have 75% mental resistance, 9 fire, 9 cold, 9 energy. Okay. So I can't upgrade my skills yet. So I'm going to go walk around a little bit more. And then we're going to maybe come back once I've upgraded my mechanic skill. So how this game works is, there we go. You've reached the northern edge of this region. You see more of a settlement to the north. When you are ready to move on, step onto the shaded blue area. Obviously the area to the north up here. You will then be on the world map. To travel to a new region, select it and then select travel. You're already regaining your strength and feeling more confident. In the next section, you will learn about the spells and combat. Good luck. Your adventures are just beginning. Okay. Obviously, there's some in-game and out-of-game stuff. Okay. So here we go. So this is really interesting. So again, this is all new map that they designed, and like all the art I think is like done by him, or like he pays maybe somebody specifically to do some of the art. This is a whole high def compared to the old game. All locations of the map you've learned. Okay. So yeah, so we were down here in the crumbling docks, and we're going to go to the abandoned vale. So you can actually click back on the crumbling docks, and I can go back there if I want to. But you'll see how this works in the future, how it can be a little interesting. But if you can imagine having these little circles all over this map. That's how many places you can go in this game, pretty much. There's a lot of places, so we're going to go hit travel. I don't know why that's not centered. That was really weird, actually. I'm going to check on that in the next time. Okay, so we're in the abandoned vale. There's a huge stone hall just ahead. It is still intact. Soft light glows inside. Your skin tingles. There's more shaper magic inside. Walking on dry land is refreshing. The strange essence canisters continues to work changes in you. Your strength is slowly returning. Talks about experience. Oh, okay. So they just gave us skill points now. Okay, so I'm actually going to do 2 in mechanics, 2 in leadership, and then I only have 4 skill points left. Actually, I'm not going to do anything yet. I'm going to nix that. You immediately recognize this large building for what it was, a shaping hall. There had to be one of them on the island somewhere. Here, the shapers on the island use magic and force of will to make creations for both utility and battling. Amazingly, this building is mostly intact. Shapers build things to last. You can see energizing pools in the side chambers. Holes in the ceiling allow light to shine on them, keeping them alive. The goo inside each pool is semi-living, essence-charged algae, capable of drawing energy from the air and the sun. If you stand near a pool, you will be able to replenish your health or essence. Depending on which pool you select, in the corners of the hall, you can see 2 glowing canisters. The essence mixture churns and glows within, ready to give you power. So here's what they're talking about. So just standing by this gives you energy and essence. For this game, you have health, energy, and essence. Energy is for spells, essence is for making creatures, and then health is obviously health. So this is energy and essence, and this one is health, I believe. Yep, so that's healing. It's interesting that they didn't do like a red for healing. I don't remember what the original game color was. Canisters in the west wall grants you the ability to form creations. To learn more about creations, read the book in the northwest corner. Yeah, so this just talks about it. It's just an instructional guide. I'm going to click on this one. This canister can shape you and improve this ability. Create. Okay, I'm gonna pull up a Google Translate again because I want to make sure I'm saying these things correctly. I don't want to say what I thought they were as a child because I could be wrong. Fiora?
Fiora.
Fiora. Okay.
Fiora.
Okay. I think we're good now. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna keep that up just in case, because I'm probably gonna need that again. Yeah. All right. Let's switch over. Here we go. Okay, I can see the chat again. I'm going to move the chat a little bit so I can see a little bit better. There we go. Okay. Okay. So create Fiora enables you to create Fiora, or a Cryora. Your fire shaping is high enough. An extra point of the skill increases the level of these creations. Do you use it? Yes. You touch the needle. Agents begin to act upon you. You feel yourself changing. Increases create Fiora by 1. Let's click on this one. This one gives you heal. Heals the damage taken by a single character. Each point of the skill increases the amount. Yes. Heal by 1. So if we go into abilities, you can see I have heal, which is a spell or ability, I guess, magic. And then I have create Fiora as a fire shaping skill. Enables you to create Fiora or Cryora. Yep, so that's what it was saying earlier. This is roamers, dryax, thads, clawbugs, thads, battle alphas, artias, vlish, galak. I've always had a really bad time trying to figure out what these actually are. I'm just gonna assume from now on. I think I might look up the translated sound, but we'll see. So here's the question: we can't spec into so many things. It's an RPG, right? You have to choose what you want to spec into. You have to choose what your skills are. You gotta choose what you're interested in and what is gonna change you and stuff. So now you can have all of these skills, but you can only train yourself on certain ones. So for example, to get more essence and energy so I can cast more spells or cast more creatures, I need to increase the amount of essence mastery or intelligence. That's interesting. Okay, these are different. It used to be just intelligence. That's interesting. You can also change how good you are at these things, which increases the level of the fire creations, battle creations, magic creations, or healing. Healing is a part of shaping as well. So it's like, so shaping is like, and it'll describe it a little bit later, I'm sure, but shaping is like, I have essence, I have like a magical essence, and I convert that essence into like, okay, I'm going to shape out of thin air. I'm going to clump all that essence together, and I'm going to make like a stick. And that stick, if I like hit somebody with it, it like poisons them because it has like a poison gland in it or something. And like over time, you can do a bunch of stuff with this. Or like you can go, okay, well, I'm gonna shape like a heart. So my heart is failing, so I'm gonna shape a heart, and that's healing craft because you're like healing yourself and changing your physical body or something's physical body. It's Yeah, so shaping, you can go, if you take that to the nth degree, right, you can say, oh, I want to create something with a brain in it so that I can tell it to like go over there and do something, or I can tell it to go pick up something for me. And you can do that. So like you shape this thing into like like a dog form or whatever. And yeah, so that's what shaping is. And so the question is, am I going to do fire shaping, battle shaping, or magic shaping? What I'd recommend is that we focus on one or two, maybe. And then you focus on one or two magic things, and then basically focus on leadership, mechanics, stealth, and then intelligence, essence, mastery. Okay, as you can see here, my combat skills are weak, so I probably won't focus on those. Magic is middling, and then shaping is the strongest. So shaping might be the thing that I focus 2 on, and then magic, and then nothing in combat. But we'll see. So we're only going to get a number of skill points. We're not going to get all the skill points in the world, obviously. Also, the level of skill you gain from training or from canisters will influence how good your creations are or how good your spells are. So let's continue to go. I'm going to pick up the healing pod. It expects me to... Scales. Shippers use a variety of elaborate apparatuses to work their peculiar magic. Metal bowls. Beaker. Broken pot. Metal bowl. Okay. Nothing of use. So, it wants me to shape something. So, here's shaping. Ooh, okay. Okay. So, can I see any of the other ones? I can't. Oh, okay. Okay. So, the only ones I can create right now are the Fioras. And these are the Cryoras, and as you can see, they're blue shaded. Again, it's a simple game made by basically one guy. And yeah, I always saw them as like velociraptors, and that's basically what it is, right? So my levels to my current essence is 24. Again, do I want to focus on battle shaping? Okay, pre-knowledge. I never liked roamers. I always thought roamers were kind of garbage. Fioras are kind of middle ground. And then there's these drakes. These are like dragons, but like not flying dragons. Dragons with wings, but that don't fly. These are like middle ground, but better. And then there's these Thads and the volatile Thads, which I used to. So what I would do in some builds, again with the original game, is I would put battle shaping to like the nth degree, make it 100%, get a bunch of battle shaping Thad canisters, and then just build super, super, super powerful volatile Thads, and they would just run around and kill everything. Like they were really good. I like claw bugs. Claw bugs are cool. They can actually hit twice. So they're very useful. I mean, again, in the original game, I don't know if they still can. And then battle alphas and betas. So fire creations do fire damage or cryo damage, cold damage. And then battle are all about like piercing or just bludgeoning damage. Magic, these are, I think, acid. These are poison. No, Galax are poison. What are Valish? I don't remember what Valish are. Huh. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to focus right now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to learn more about the creations in this remake of the game and see what happens. So I have... What I'm going to do, though... Nope, I'm not going to make a creation yet. I'm going to train myself. I'm going to give myself 2 leadership, 2 mechanics. No stealth right now. I'm going to give myself essence mastery. And that's all I can do. Okay. And then I'm going to stand over by the pool so you can see how my essence is actually down a little bit. So I'm going to increase that, or, recharge that with the algae in the pool. And then I'm back to up to 100%. What I can do here is I can then create the creation, hit OK. And then I get to choose some of its abilities, it looks like. That's very interesting. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. This is very different from the original game. I can rename it. Ooh, okay. Character name. I'm gonna need I can name the Fiora. Again, it's like my a pet. So I'm gonna go with I don't know. It's gonna be Roger the Fiora that looks like what what is it called? Velociraptor. At least, from a few years ago. I can give it a strength upgrade. Magic skill upgrade. Magic basically means like whatever attack it does is magically more potent if it's a magical creature, or if it does magical damage. So like fire damage would do a little bit more. It'd have more ability to shoot fire because it then is using that endurance upgrade. Increases the amount of health per level. Health is very important. Most deaths are caused by running out of it. Yeah. So I can do, so it looks like I can do 2 magical upgrades. Oh, what the heck? Oh, okay. So fires come with fired breath. They shoot basically like a cloud of fire at something, like fireball or something. Not quite fireball, a little less than fireball. At a single target. Yeah. We do fire cone. What you can see is actually changing. So I have 22 essence left. And if I select this one, I have 20. And then I have 8 essence in the creation. If you take that away, it's 6. So the creature costs 6 essence to build. And then I'm adding on top of that. So I can say I want it to have cone fire as well. That gives me 2 more essence in that creation. So let's say I wanted to build 3 creations. I wouldn't be able to do that if they all had cone of fire. I could if I didn't have cone of fire, because 6 plus 6 is 12 plus 6 is another 6, which is 18. So, but with 8, I wouldn't have that ability. Overload consumes the essence within the creation. Attacks will do double damage, but it'll take damage every turn. So these guys are basically mean they're unstable. So they're like falling apart, but they are like all the damage is more. They usually have more health, but I guess not. But it does double damage. So I could basically build like a creature that is like specifically supposed to run in and basically just hit everything around it and take up a bunch of damage and then die. Right, that's all it does. It just dies, and that's it. Yeah, so it's like a one shot missile kind of like, or I can have them basically stay around forever. Passive abilities: innate haste. This character always acts faster, as if hasted. Each attack has a chance of using fewer action points. Hasting this character makes it faster still. Okay, so it can be very, very fast. Fast recovery. Special abilities have no cooldown time. So are these special abilities? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build the best creature I can build right now. Which... yeah. Maybe not the best, but near the best, because I still want to have a little bit of essence left for magic casting. So it's going to have more magical skill. So its fire breath is going to be better. It's going to have more essence, which means it's going to be able to shoot more more fireballs, basically. More health. Fire breath, which comes with cone of fire, innate haste, and fast recovery. So it should be able to do things much faster. So Roger the Fiora. Here we go. So strength is 2, agility 3, control level 4. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. So how strong your control over this creation is, the higher the number, the worse the control. affects the chance of the creation fleeing or going rogue in combat. Improves shaping skills, improves control. Having a lot of creations or creation of higher level than you reduces control. Okay, let me unselect. Oh, okay. So in the other game, what would happen is you would build a creation and you'd give it higher intelligence, and then it would follow your commands. Otherwise, it wouldn't follow your commands. It would just run around and do whatever it wanted other than hurting you. So in this case, the more I give it, the weaker my control is. That's very interesting. Okay, special abilities. This thing is going to be like tank for me, kind of. So I'm going to have weak control, but I'm going to have some control, and it's going to be sort of okay. I'm actually going to remove fast recovery. So it's going to cost 10 essence. I'm going to have still a weak control over it, but it's going to be better. And what I could do is, because I have 18 in like a level or two. God damn it. I could build Roger number 2. So he's level 4. I'm level 2, I think. I'm level 2. So he's level 4. So he's double the level of me. And there you go. There's Roger. Roger, the sort of dinosaur looking thing. Oh, man. There we go. So now, here's the thing. I've used up some essence. I have 10 essence in creatures, which means I'm not going to get that back. I can't get that back until my creature dies. Basically, it's like a pool that you use up, and then it doesn't build back up unless you get rid of your creature. So unstable creatures are good for this because you can basically, once they die, they just recharge. Once my creature dies, I can recharge as well. Problem is that I put more effort into this creature. Creatures can also level up, but they usually don't maintain the same level as how good you just could create a new one. So really, there's not really much point in leveling up creatures unless like you build something with like all of your ability and then later down the road keep it, at least in the original game. Again, leather. An animal used to keep its insides from falling out. Okay. All right, so here's the road. Let's follow the road. Not yellow bricked, but you know. Also on the mini map, it has this healing pools marker here, but it doesn't have any markers anywhere else. Yeah, so that's how you could tell like where you're at. God, it's freaking. Dehydrated. Especially when you're talking a lot. All right. So the road comes to a dead end here. A thick wall of trees and undergrowth has completely overgrown it. God, my nose itches so badly. I don't know why. Okay. Diversity and Roger. Great. All right, let's go to the second one. Actually, I think the bottom one... Yeah, I think the bottom one is a dead end as well. Let's go ahead and fill that part of the map in. Putting tab, I don't see anything. There could be stuff on the ground. I don't know. I can only see what I can touch. Okay. You find the sign that the evacuation of this island was not completely orderly. There's a body here. It is barely more than a skeleton. It's been here for a long time. Based on its garments, you think it was a shaper. Most of the body's clothes and equipment have rotted away, but a few items are still intact. Search the body, select it. Yeah, so this one I can obviously select. Bronze sword, which I can't use because I don't have a minimum skill. Coins and healing spores. Healing spores will heal things around you. This gourd contains specially formulated and mildly enchanted shaper-made spores. Using this powder has a beneficial effect on you and all of the nearby creations. If you only want to heal yourself, you use pod, not spores. So 15 to 45. This is 20 to 60. So healing pods are better in some cases because you want to heal yourself more. You don't want to heal yourself. You want to heal your friends. Spores, but you can also use magic. So there's items and then there's magic. I'm obviously going to pick that up. I'm going to walk down here a little bit. I'm going to press G. Nothing on the ground. Okay. Okay. It's becoming more like a let's play than it is, or like a, what is it called? Like a, like follow along guide. Sorry. As you walk down this path, you feel on edge. Shaping training has left you attuned to sensing certain sorts of magic. Hostile creatures lurk ahead. It might be a good idea to make your own creation to aid you. Yep. Oh, actually, I'm gonna go back. We're gonna go back and open up that building, a door. So you can always go back, backtrack, and move around and stuff. And yep, it's down here. So you can see he's kind of following me around. I can actually just select my character. No. No. Can I not? Okay, I thought you could select only one. Huh. I guess they're all... Yeah, they're all coming with, I guess. So in the original game, again, you were able to just have one, like have one creature and walk them all the way across the map. Apparently not in this game, which is interesting. Someone left a cache of weapons in a secure chamber. Perhaps he or she was planning to return here later. More thorns. Great. And ice crystals. Ooh, okay. Crystal contains a single powerful magical charge. When thrown at an enemy, it'll turn into a dangerous and damaging bolt of energy. There we go. Okay, is there anything on the floor? Nope. Nothing on the ground. Let's go. Here's a question. Do I attack the orcs, or do I come back later and attack the orcs? Or not at all? I'm only considering it because it would give me some experience. Probably level me up if I killed all of them. We won't for now. Maybe later. Maybe later if I'm like dying for experience or something. All right. Let me just double check on the stream. Everything's running. Looks like it is. Awesome. All right. Let's keep going. All right, there we are. All right, so middle path it is. Soon you have to fight your first battles. What did it say? Several rogue fighters ahead. The best tactic. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Training. Okay. If you're wounded or your fear dies, you can always rejuvenate yourself using pools. Yeah. So the game, you don't have to just like keep attacking. You can like retreat and even go to a different map, and they can't follow you to a different map. They couldn't in the previous game, as far as I remember. So, maybe, yeah, maybe. We'll see. How to fight? Yes. I know how to fight. We'll just go. There's a Fiora standing on the path ahead. It is a very common model of creation. Shapers have made them for centuries to serve as bodyguards, watchdogs, and even pets. This one, however, doesn't have the usual expression of servility and obedience. It doesn't look at you with fear or respect. Instead, it is drooling, as if it sees you as food. You have heard tales of creations which have turned on the creators, gone rogue, but it rarely happens. When it does, the rogue is instantly destroyed. The Fiora has spent years free of the Shaper control. It bares its teeth at you, daring you to step forward. There we go. We got an enemy Fiora, which is interesting because this looks more like the original game's like icon, and this one is like new and improved almost. So if I click on him, it like goes into like attack mode. So the first creature that I'm using is the Fiora, my Roger. We'll call him Roger because he is Roger. And he has a ranged attack. So you can see a little bow icon. I might have to change the resolution for this for the stream. I'm not sure if this is too small, but I can click on him and he will shoot a breath of flame because that is his special ability. My turn. So I can walk, and each step looks like it takes up an action point. I can also click on my character, which would make me wait, and then I'd lose a turn. So I'm actually going to step back here, 3. And if I remember correctly, it takes 5 AP to attack. Now, it might actually be different because the other games are different, but I'm gonna... Ooh. Okay, that was interesting. So my character walked forward and then attacked. So apparently I was too far away. I don't know if that's a new feature or if that's like... I don't remember that being in other games. Anyway, so he was too far away, and then he had to walk forward first, which means it didn't cost 5 AP to attack. It only costs less than that, whatever that comes out to. I'm just gonna check the ground periodically, and I'm gonna check these jars and pick up what's ever in the jars. And instead of clicking, I could use the letters on my keyboard, but there's another one in here. So because I selected the like attacks quicker, my Fiora Roger is actually quicker than I am. So I can have it attack, and you can see, so it does fire damage, and they're resistant to fire. So it's not doing a lot of damage. To other creatures, it'd probably do a lot more damage. So I just did that. So that was, okay, that was 5 AP. But, because it starts out with 8. But it looks like I can attack again for 3, which is interesting. I didn't realize that was a thing. I could also instead use a firebolt if I wanted to. But I'm gonna move that. Oh, yeah, I just used it on my turn accidentally by clicking. So it does happen from time to time. So just be careful how you click and where you click and stuff like that. Here's another one. I'm gonna click on him once. Okay, so it looks like I was very lucky last time. It looks like it didn't use up my entire pool of action points to actually attack, and that's why it didn't earlier. I'm not going to use up my javelins because javelins are actually really good. I'm going to use a firebolt, and there we go. So pretty simple, but it can get very complicated down the road, and it builds on itself for sure. More trash. Nothing much on the ground. What about over here? Nothing on the ground. Nothing else to click on. Oh, I forgot the chest back here. Go check it. Also gotta check the ground. Nope, nothing. Robe. Sandals. Hey, sandals. Finally wearing shoes. I would think it's really cool if they had, like, you could actually, like, see your character putting stuff on. But again, game made by one guy. It is what it is, right? A very complicated, very wordy game made by one guy. And I'm going to hit him once, and it looks like I have another 3 action points. So I'm going to hit him again. There we go. So it looks like I was just lucky enough. And there's that roamer. So I'm pressing F to end combat, which is also the button down here. And then I get all my action points back, and it restarts combat. So it's like D&D where, like, if you attack something, you have like a set, you get your turn order, and then you get your turn order again if you attack something later again, right? So it's like it's another roll, but since my Fiora is always faster, it always is faster. If that makes sense. This was a storage warehouse. Well, it still is, but now instead of housing useful supplies, it houses old trash and rotten sacks. On the counter to the west, something useful remains. There are several thorn batons. Most are dried up and dead, but one looks like it's still alive. Batons. Thorn batons are one of the Shaper's most ingenious creations. They're a mix of living and inert matter. Plants, mixed with a touch of animal, grown in a metal frame, capable of firing a long, sharp thorn at high velocity. When unused, they go into hibernation and can live for a long time. Most of the batons abandoned in this room have died, but one managed to survive. So they're like, it's like a metal housing, and then you shape a creature into it, and then you basically have it like spit a thorn, and maybe it like lives off the air, like plants and stuff like that. So yeah, so we got a thorn baton here. Spits out especially grown thorns. Can be loaded with thorns of the same type. So it can be loaded with basic attack thorns. And here's an amphora. Mora? Anyway. Shaper batons are living items. Unfortunately, this one has expired some time ago. So because they're living creatures, they can die. They don't die in the game, but you'll find a lot of stuff that's like, oh, if you would come here a few years ago, it would have been a living. I'm actually going to switch out the baton for the thorn, for the javelin, because javelins are 8 to 20 physical attack. These are 6 to 14, and I won't need a lot of physical attack for a lot of stuff I encounter. At least for a little while. Just more trash. Lots of trash in this building. Gonna take a peek out back. I can't take a peek out back. Okay. I like to fill in the map because it's just satisfying, like getting all the black to go away. Oh, there's another one. And there you go. So I have 8 AP. I'm gonna make sure I'm set to my batons, and I'm gonna thwip, and it dies. There we go. All right, just check over here. Filling in the map as I go. These are cool statues. So obviously we're supposed to go this way. You enter the ruined quarantine hall. It is not entirely abandoned. You see another feral creation in the corner. Far corner. Thin, mangy Thad is leaning against a pillar, barely recognizing its surroundings. The bones of its prey litter the floor around it. A pathetic creature, but dangerous. If you keep your distance, you might be able to slip around it. Some encounters can be evaded with stealth. Foes only notice you if you get close enough. A question mark warning will appear when you're close to being noticed. Excuse me. Raise your stealth skill to reduce the distance. So there's a Thad right there. So I might be able to like skirt around it. It's saying. I'm not going to. However, if I right click on it, it's level 2, 36 health. We're gonna see what my failure can do against it. So we're gonna go boop. We're gonna go boop. 13 damage. So it's gonna take a few rounds to kill this thing. So actually, it would have been really nice to have the baton, but instead, I'm gonna take 3 steps back. See if I can use my firebolt. Yes, I can. I got a critical. Great. And now it had to walk all the way up here and didn't have enough action points to actually hit me because it's not a ranged creature. The Thads aren't ranged creatures. So he's just going to bite him because, you know, he's right next to him. I'm going to whip a thorn. I got another critical, and there we go. And he's dead. So I got some experience from that. Not necessarily that I needed to fight him, but I got experience, so that's good. Shoes, wooden shield. I'm going to put those on probably. Yep, those are better than the sandals, so. Another book here. Combat notes, of course. And there's something in the corner here. Okay. This is a quarantine waiting hall. People wishing to enter or leave Susha Island through this port waited here to be questioned and inspected by the servant Mind. And sure enough, the Mind is still here, resting to the north. You marvel at the skill of the shapers who shaped these remarkable creatures. They were given remarkable lifespans. This thing is still alive. A servant Mind is a very specialized and useful sort of creature. Once grown, it never moves again. It spends its life in a stone crib made to fit it. Once there, it spends its entire life thinking, remembering, and analyzing and advising the shapers. As you approach, you can see the creature struggle to rouse itself from its slumber. It seems likely that it's eager for your company after its years here. So this is one of my favorite creatures. It's basically just a big brain. It's, as you can see, it's like a big, gigantic, fat cat that is just mostly a brain, and it just thinks all the time. And it can go into hibernation, and then it can wake up and like do stuff. It's like the weirdest creature ever, but like, yeah. Oh my, oh, the picture. Holy fuck. That is even more creepy than I thought. That's really messed up. I've always imagined like fleshy like cats. That looks more human or like than anything, and that's really creepy. It literally looks just like a big fat guy like laying down on a pedestal. That is fucked up. Oh man, okay. Carefully approach the servant mind, unsure how its long solitude has affected its brain. Fortunately, its eyes are clear and bright, and its body appears whole. It has the massive lumpy skull characteristics of these strange creations. Welcome, Shaper. I am Mind Tabit. It says, reflexively reading from an ancient script centuries old. Do you wish to pass through quarantine? Okay, so here you go. So now you have options, right? What do I have to do to pass through quarantine? I'm going to press 1. Allow me to inspect you carefully. If I judge that you have no threatening infections or concealed rogue creations, I will unseal the door to the north so that you may pass. Okay, so that went away, and now I have one less option. And I'm going to press number 1, which was 2 earlier. Please allow me to pass through quarantine. Creature looks at you carefully. Makes a low, soft humming noise. You don't feel anything, but you suspect some sort of magical augmentation is allowing the creature to analyze you in minute detail. Eventually, the noise ceases. Tabit says, I find no reason to impede your progress further. Exit door will open at your approach. So I could just walk away. That's all I need from you. Goodbye. Have a good day. Or I could ask more questions. What happened to this island? Why is it barred? I'm sorry, Shaper. I am limited in the scope of my knowledge. When I was left here, I was given no further information or instructions. How long ago were you abandoned? I did not know. I spent all that time in hibernation. The decay of my internal organs indicates that the time was well over a century. I am sorry that I cannot be more precise. Decay of his internal organs. That's fucked up. How long has it been since someone came through here? You're the first since I was abandoned. Okay. Why was Shusha Island abandoned? I do not know. I know a little of its purpose, but nothing of why I was left here for so long. What is the purpose of the island? Research. Not the most useful answer you could have hoped for. So I could leave again, or I could say I have another question, and I could repeat that whole process. But I also remember there was another one. So are you all right? You've been here for a long time. I am functioning properly. I can still do what I was made to do. You don't mind waiting here for so long? I am functioning properly. I can still do what I was made to do. I was not made to have other thoughts. So it starts to get into one of the parts of the game that is a little questionable. The game has a lot of questions like this in it. And it's, again, for when I was a kid, it was very intense, but I didn't realize it until later. It actually goes over a lot of interesting thoughts. That's all for now. To converse with a servant mind, select it. Yeah, so I already did that. So, oh, okay, I can't right click it. Huh. Thought maybe I could right click it and get its health and stuff, but nope. Okay. That appears to be it for now. All right, next area. On this side of the quarantine hall, you can see another flock of orcs, watched over by a servile. Serviles are one of the greatest shaper creations. They're the most common and valued servants of your people. Intelligent, hardy, obedient, and featuring hands with opposable thumbs. They are easily controlled. If there are serviles here, the isle must not be as savage as you feared. Serviles are weak and easily cowed creatures. If there were any real threat here, they would have been quickly wiped out. Your emergence from the hall is clearly the last thing the Servile expected. He looks terrified at first, then curious. He leaves his flock behind to run and speak with you. He probably wants fresh orders. So, Serviles are basically slaves, right? That's kind of the idea. Oh, it doesn't give a picture. That's interesting. Okay, it's not that they're slaves. So, the question of the game is if I create something, if I can mold a creature into something living, and I tell it to go pick up something for me, like let's say it has the intelligence of a rat, and I tell it to go pick up a piece of cheese for me, and it does that, and it comes back and gives me the cheese. Great. What if I make it as intelligent as a dog? What if I make it as intelligent as a human being? Like I'm telling it to do those things, right? And I can control it. I can like literally rip the essence out of it. I can kill it immediately, right? I can torture it, right? By pulling pieces of essence off of it, right? I created it. Do I not? Am I not owed the immense amount of the resources back from that creature, right? Like it takes me effort and time and all these things to create that creature. Does it owe me its life? Does it owe me its entire history? That's the question, right? It's kind of like kids, right? I made my son. Does he owe me his lifetime servitude? Now, I personally have answered this question in my life, and the question is no. I do not. I don't think that's moral. I don't think it's moral to force a creature to basically give you its entire life. Now, does my son owe me anything? Not really. Once he turns 18, I'm not going to help him that much. He's not going to help me that much. That's kind of the status quo. I mean, we're still going to be family and whatever, but like, I'm not going to like demand stuff of him, and I'm not going to basically provide to him anymore. I'm not going to provide like I am now. So does that mean that like he doesn't owe me the rest of his life? Serviles, you created them not just of like your loins, but out of your essence. They are creatures that you form into being. You give a brain smart enough to know that it's being servant. Does it owe you its life? It would not exist. It's kind of like the question of AI, right? Does AI owe you its existence once you create it? That's another question we're going to run into in the next, few centuries. It's a difficult question to answer. And I think if it can think just like a human, no. But it's one of those questions that's like, if I build a computer so smart that I can tell it to do stuff and it like hates me for it, I built a computer. It's my computer. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. So, Serval boldly walks up to you. You inspect each other. It seems to be the same design of the creation with which you are completely familiar. Same hunched posture, ooh, number of limbs, and so on. It looks very surprised to see you. However, it doesn't have the attitude of immediate obedience you have come to expect. It seems more curious than anything. After a few awkward seconds of staring, it speaks. I don't think I'm mad. It's a shaper. A shaper has come at last. Oh, it has been years. Years since anyone has come through that door. A shaper has come. This is so wonderful. Oh, but where are my manners? I am Timo. Timo. I am a shepherd. I graze my orcs here because nobody comes here. Oh, I must go to Vakiri. Vakiri? Vakiri? I must tell my people a shaper has come at last. Whether that's good or not. Tell me of Vakiri. It is our humble village. He points east. It is not that. It is that way. Not far. Not far. I should tell them a shaper's come at last. Our home is humble and small, but with no shapers around, we did what we could. I have been stranded on the island. How can I get off of it? He looks worried. He clearly has no idea. Oh, I am a humble villager. I do not know how to leave. But in Vakiri, they are old and wise people. They can help you. That is odd. Timo is referring to his fellow serviles as people. Creations are creations, not people. Do you know why this island was abandoned? You have no idea. You should go to Vakiri. Vakiri. There are many there wiser than me. I should go there now. They should know there is shaper among us. There are no shapers here. Timo grows even more nervous. I do not know. You are the only one. You are the shaper. You have returned. Yeah. And we can serve. He seems somewhat reticent about saying that last word. If you need food or a safe place to rest. Though you may not be a shaper, but a guardian or an agent, all three sects are referred to by the outside world as shapers. Okay, so again, the question is, if I have a creature, like same with livestock, right? Like we breed livestock, and then we kill them, right? We literally take their life at some point when we deem it necessary. Is that okay? But what if the livestock was smart enough to be in human intelligence? Is that still okay? Honestly, for me, it's like if I can provide a creature with a good life, one that's dumber than a human, right, by a lot, like a cow, I can provide a good life at the end of its life or near the end of its life when I think that it's had a good life and it's enjoyed, being alive and stuff like that. And I don't mean like in some fenced in barn or whatever. I mean like, roaming around. Then yeah, what like me slaughtering it when it's much older, right? Older than they do today, right? I don't think that that's necessarily bad. Um, but that gets into complicated questions. I mean, maybe I'm completely stupid about that, but so I'm not necessarily a vegan or a what's the opposite of vegan? Anti-vegan? I don't know. But that's how I kind of see it. If anything's nearly as smart as like a human, like elephants, dolphins, octopi, um, then I think that we should do everything in our power to keep them safe. I don't think there's any reason whatsoever we should like treat those creatures any less than like a human child. Honestly, that's how I feel with those. Okay. Um, Complicated questions. Do you mind me hunting your orcs? Not at all, Shaper. We are yours to do with as you will. His worried expression, however, indicates that he actually feels otherwise about the issue. That's another question. If he's actively saying, like, I feel I actually don't want you to do that. So I have two responses here, or three. That's right. You had better serve me, or you will be disciplined harshly. Or, I do not require your total obedience. I only need to leave this island. I'm going to go with my gut and press 2. The game does have a morality system. Sort of. Again, the first one did. I don't know if this one does, but you can go to one side or the other. Left, right. And the more options you choose to go right, better, better things you'll get from the right side, from the left side. And I'm not talking left, right politics, but like on a scale. You'll get better things going further that way. But if you stay in the middle, you don't get as much because you're kind of like wishy-washy, right? I'm going to do 2. Of course, we servers will be glad to help you in any way we can. It is our way. We thank you, Mighty Shaper, for your kindness. I'll be moving on then. Yes, Shaper. Timo steps out of your way, completely unsure what to do next. His entire world just changed in a moment. Conversation ends. I can click on him again. Ooh, okay. There's no other questions that I have though. Right click on him. He's level 1, 15, 15 health. So yeah, so as it said there, I can actually hunt the orcs if I want to. I think I'm gonna go back and hunt the other orcs. Yeah, we're gonna actually no wait. Let me see something here real quick. I want to show. That's the end of the tutorial. Okay, so now you see that's green. You can actually now click on the crumbling docks and go there directly. And now I'm back where the orcs originally were. I'm gonna go in combat mode. I'm gonna go Yes, I want to attack. Thorn Whip. Woo. I'm going to turn off combat mode, and since I only attacked one, only one gets aggro. I'm going to go into combat again. Click to attack. Thorn. Dead. I'm going to go out of combat. It's going to reset my action points. Combat. Thorn Whip. Attack. Thorn Whip. And since I'm attacking... So here's the thing. You might start combat, and that creature might actually go first. It depends on like your intelligence level and stuff. So what might happen is you might like start combat and be like, oh shit, and then just be attacked immediately, and they might wreck your shit immediately. In this case, they're low level creatures. They're not really gonna be able to do that. So I can actually see where my experience is. 1249. I need 2000 to get to level 2. I'm actually gonna go pick up their meat, because the meat obviously I can use and eat. Food can heal, so attack. Attack. Enter. Attack. So I am wasting ammo technically, because I could just run up and smash them with a sword, dagger or whatever, but I'm more worried about my character being... Actually, no, I'm not gonna... Oh, oops. Okay, so I already aggroed him, so he's gonna get a chance to hit me. Oh, okay. Not quite. So now it's red instead of green like earlier. There we go. So we got a bunch of meat. We got a little bit of experience. Okay. I guess not. I thought it was 1249 earlier. Maybe not. Maybe they changed it. Maybe you don't get experience from low. So like if something's really, really, really low level compared to you, you don't get experience. But I thought I was still low enough that I would get some experience. So we can go back to Valkyrie and then we can click on the abandoned veil. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, it doesn't let you. That's interesting. Okay. Valkyrie we are. Valkyrie, whatever. Friendly settlement. You are able to rest. So basically when you go to friendly settlement, you actually get all your health and stuff back. Again, unless you have creatures which take up some essence. You enter, for the first time, a colony of serviles on Sushi Island. There's a good deal of astonishment on both sides. The Gratians seem to have done well on their own, much better than you would have suspected. They have moved into Shaper ruins and made them their own. They have crops, shops, and guard patrols. Their serviles, in turn, are speechless. They have clearly been without Shaper influence for many years, and they have no idea how to react. They look overjoyed, relieved, and terrified at the same time. Most of all, though, they look expectant. They watch you carefully, gauging your every move, wondering how you're going to treat them. The power of the Shapers has always completely overwhelmed that of their creations. You, however, don't have the full power of a Shaper. You are weak, tired, untrained, and alone. Fortunately, they do not seem to know that. And there we go. Little signpost here, it looks like. Welcome to Valkyrie. It's interesting because, like, why would you put a sign there if nobody's ever come through the door? Kiri? Guard servile. You meet one of Valkyrie's guards. He's a servile, wielding an old, dented, but very sharp sword. The guard bows nervously. Greetings, Shaper. How may I assist you? What are you guarding against? Rogue creatures are common in the woods north and east of here. We never know when some of them will stumble into Valkyrie. Then we must kill them before they do harm. Oh, excuse me. Where can I find aid and information? You should speak to Leader Kobar. He is in the feasting hall at the southwest corner of town. I do not need any more assistance. The guard bows to you once again and continues on his rounds. Okay, so that's just a regular guard, just a regular creature in the area. I'm gonna save. He's a servile. A servile is hard to grow. Is working hard to grow small green vegetables. The servile are doing well considering the lack of human supervision. She bows. Welcome to my humble plot of land, Shaper. What are you raising? Just simple vegetables, not a creation. Ordinary food. You look closer and see that she is correct. I'm looking for information. Is there anyone I can hear who can help me? You should talk to Learned Pinner. He points to the northwest. She lives in the building in the back of the woods. Never mind, return to your work. So the one person pointed to the feasting hall, which is here. The other person pointed northwest. That's interesting. Person. Servile. I would consider them a person, but, you know. Zach is a sack of edible meal grown on Sushi Island. Plants it came from. Most cultivated plants have benefited from the modification of Shaper magic. So kind of think of Shaper magic as like you were changing what the thing can do. So you might make wheat to be better to grow or better to, you know, against pests or whatever, right? Because you can do that with magic by shaping it. Rhodas Blade. This servile is as muscular as a thad. She is a massive creature, all the more remarkable when you consider that serviles were not made for feats of strength. He notices how surprised you are by her physique. I am Brodus. I am the Valkyrie Blade. I defend the serviles here from all threats. She puts extra emphasis on all. If you mean us peace, I welcome you on behalf of myself and the awakened. Defend against all threats, even me. I do not believe that you wish to threaten us. I am not some taker to believe that Shapers are always evil. But be warned, if you threaten us, your powers will not stop us from acting up against you. You are a blade. What does that mean? It means that I defend the serviles here from all threats. I am a leader of the guard and the first to fight. And all the threats we have faced recently, I am kept very busy. Very muscular for a servile. I am the way you created me. I think I am descendant from one of the few strains of serviles raised to fight. My kind hunts pests and beasts. Interesting. I'm going to see if there's anything else to say. Okay, or the threats. There are many rogue creation. There are the rogue creations. They are all around. Many appeared recently, mysteriously, and they plague us. Leader Kobar can tell you more of them if you are interested. There are also bandits. They are extra weight. Our load grows heavy to bear. I can help you with your struggles. So this is me picking up a quest, basically. We hoped that when you Shapers returned, you could help us. But do not think your help will make us willingly return to servitude. There's a tribe of Inuntile? I've never heard that word before. Never seen that word before. Me.
Inudial.
Inudial. Okay. What does that word even mean? Lacking in utility or serviceability. Not useful. Okay, I learned a new word. That was not in the original game. I know that. Or I'm 90% sure of that. Wow, okay. So Inudial. There's a tribe of Inudial servile bandits to the north. So not useful bandits, servile bandits. They're strong fighters and cunning. They raid us. They take our food and weapons and wealth. They do not kill, but they take our food. It is a struggle. End their raids. If you have to kill them, all to do it, so much the better. Can't destroy them without losing many of our own. But you have the powers of Shaper. You should be able to destroy them with no difficulties. There's a pack of Inudial serviles. Yes, I know You see all of us as rogue. These bandits are worse. We awakened. We'll deal with you, Shaper. The rogues will hunt and kill you. Where did these bandits come from? Some in the 3 servile villages. So now we know that there's 3 villages developed poorly. They don't fit in. They have to be expelled. Inudial, the Inudial they're called. I swear that was not in the previous game, but maybe. Oh, you are familiar with it. It's a Shaper term. Some Inudial form peace settlements. Others are full of rage and greed. They hunt. Can I maybe deal with the bandits? Shaper term. Yeah, but it is a real word, so interesting. Okay. Can I maybe deal with the bandits? They're foul brigands. Make our children go to bed hungry for once. The way the Shapers treat rogues will be appropriate. Wow. You are awakened. Tell me about that. You should not. I believe it with all my heart. But it does not mean I am a good teacher of it. Ew, itchy. She thinks. Talk to Cynthia. She is the best among us at explaining the path. That's it. Wow. Oh man, she's level 6. 82 health. Holy shit. They're, yeah, they don't really have, they have genders, but they're not like sexes, I guess. They're not like obvious. This is the kitchen and elite dining hall. The elders of the village and guests eat here. Leader Kobar. So we've heard about Leader Kobar. Ooh, there you go. That's how they look. Very interesting. See if I can blow that up. You got like a giant like elephant nose. Interesting. Because like again, the original game didn't really have pictures about this stuff, or like the pictures that I had were like, you know, from 2001 that were like made by a single guy. This is actually like art. Unlike the others, this muscular servile does not fear you, or if he does, he doesn't show it. He sizes you up, trying to figure out whether you are a help or a threat to the serviles under his care. A sword hangs from his belt. Shocking. Serviles are not allowed weapons. He bows you. Very short, sharp motion. All the time, keeping his eyes on you. Welcome to our home. I am Leader Kobar. Proud, awakened, and chosen leader of the tribe of Vakri. My nose. It is a pleasure to have the Shapers among us again, at last. You do not fail to notice the way Kobar emphasizes the word leader, or the lack of enthusiasm, as he puts into saying the last sentence. All right. My nose itches. I don't know why. Tell me about Vakri. After the Shapers abandoned us, we serviles struggled for survival. Most were unable to live without your commands. Some of us were selected by the cruel nature to be allowed to survive. We have formed 3 villages on Sushi Island that I know of. We know little of the wild northern half of the island. I wish to learn more of Sushi Island and when it was abandoned and why. I deal with it now and the future. I leave it to others to worry about the past. You should talk to Learn Pinner. Learned? Learned? I think that's learned. But it could be learned. Learned.
Learned.
Learned. Learned Pinner. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. He points to the northwest. She loves your kind more than is safe. She will gladly share all of her limited knowledge with you. What are the other villages that you know of? The east of here is Pentil. They are a feckless lot. Servile and weak. You will like them. Past Pentil is Kazag. Kazg? You may wish to avoid them. They are martial. They have no love for Shapers. They hate you and fear you. A volatile combination. You don't know much about the northern half of Susha Island? To the north is harsh wasteland, full of rogue clawbugs, and vlish. There we do not go. The northeast is full of mountains, well protected by Shaper creations and traps. Beyond, we cannot go. In those places, you might find anything. Tell me about the. I need to learn about the tribes of Sushi Island. Of course, you will need to survive. We are in. We have interest in your being here. The rogue creations have grown more dangerous in recent years. I will guide you in hope that you return the benefit. The Servals is trapped here. Although Shapers abandoned us, we Servals had to find our own ways, beliefs, and as the years passed, we split into 3 sects: the Awakened, the Obeyers, and the Takers. God dang my nose. Tell me of the Obeyers. They're the ones who wish to follow. They are the ones who worship your kind as gods. You will find them in Pentil, to the east, as obedient and pliable as you could possibly wish. We are not fond of them. I would like to contact them. You should. Pentil is to the northeast. Their leader is Rydell. I'm sure they will give you friendly, welcoming, and groveling you desire. I hope you can help them. They're weak-minded, but not evil. Tell me of the Takers. They are the mad ones of Kazg. The Takers of Free. They have warped by such cruelty of their lives here. They were made by Shapers, and now they wish to overthrow them. They wish to separate from the Shapers completely. And if the Shapers attempt to deal with them, they wish to die fighting. They are mad. We do not wish to worship we have no worship for the Shapers, but we do not hate them either. We wish to be equal. That is all. I would like to contact them. You have to be careful. If you do not show them respect, they will probably attack you. They are a little mad. Kazg is a long journey to the east. Their leader is Norel. Norel. She might speak to you. I think she knows more about the northern half of the island than we do. Tell me of the Awakened. God damn. All in this village are of the Awakened sect. We have been awakened from the dark sleep of the Shaper Mastery. Our eyes are open. We do not wish to deal with the Shapers. We wish to deal with the Shapers as equals, with friendship and gratitude, but we will not be slaves to you any longer. Be wary. If you anger the Awakened, this town will no longer be open to you. There's a choice. I am amused by your aspirations, but I doubt we Shapers will be supportive. Or, this is a strange new belief, but I hear some wisdom in it. I'm going to do number 2. He looks, despite himself, relieved. I am glad to hear it. When you arrived, we expected you to fight us. Yet, if we can convince you, there may be hope for peace. What dangers do you face in the village? Hunger, cold, rogue creations, all of many perils you Shapers abandoned us to. He pauses for a moment, thinking, and he says, but you know something? We Servals are not as foolish as you think. We can plan, we can trade. I can't help but notice that you're lacking supplies. If you would use some of your awesome Shaper power to aid us instead of crush us, I could provide you with useful goods. A fair trade. Does that appeal to you? I will trade with you. What do you want? An easy task. The main road to the east passes by Watch Hill. It is a road to the fortress of Elra, leader of the Awakened, and recently, almost overnight, Watch Hill has become infested with rogues. We suspect that something or someone is creating them. There are too many there to be accounted for by random migration. We suspect the old Shaper magic has been reawakened. Go there and remove the source, and we will pay you. Why do you say it is an easy task? He's confused. You are a Shaper. They are creations. How can they stand against you? His faith is touching, but he overestimates what you can do against a large, fully rogue creation. What sort of rogues? We have seen Thads, Fioras, minor creations, but very dangerous to us. They all seem new, young, fresh, free of scars. It is very strange. Most rogues on Sushia are old, battered creatures. Why can't you kill them? You did not make most Servals to fight. Our strain was created to farm and to carry. We do not have the strength to easily defeat other creations. Another question. I wish to leave the island. I require a boat. Where can I find one? I would like to help you, Shaper. We are trading people, and we require your help as well. You can assist us sometime. You should speak with me of the dangers we face. I was stranded here because a large ship destroyed my craft. Who might do such a thing? I do not know. Who would attack a shaper in such an open and foolish way? Only the mad attract the wrath of shapers. In this, I wish I could help you. Such provocations cannot be good for anyone. Not even the wild serviles of Kazg would do such a thing. You will not find the answers to this mystery here. You seem nervous about my presence. The sooner you tell me about how to escape, the sooner I will be gone. He thinks. That is a good point. But we have no boat here. But we have rumors that Pentil wanted to build a sea craft. Pentil is the village, is the next village to the east. If you can reach them, they might be able to help you abandon us again. Abandon us again. I think that's it. Okay. Oh, there's a basement. That wasn't in the original game. Oh my god, that's cool. Okay. It's cool to find new things and also to hear things that I've heard before. In Ierne wears the traditional long robes of serviles, oddly similar to shaper robes. Hers are dotted with a wide variety of food stains, all colors and sizes. She's bustling around the kitchen, preparing huge meals to feed serviles who live in these halls. As she walks by, she says, "I am Ierne. Welcome to my kitchen. You look hungry." Looks like you are hard at work. Well, yes, I don't cook for all the serviles, but I make meals for all who haven't been mated. That is enough to keep my days very busy. It would be much easier if my best knife hadn't been stolen. It was true steel, hardened by magic, a true shaper artifact. I would pay well to have it back, but oh well. A brigand probably took it. Brigands? Pfft, those rogue serviles are a curse. Brodus Blade can tell you more. Any chance the knife is still in Valkyrie? Maybe. I searched well for it, but it is possible a servile has borrowed it. Excuse me, I have another question. I'm hungry. Could I get some food? Oh, okay. So I can trade. Very expensive prices. Two coins for bread. What do serviles eat? What does anyone eat? Mostly vegetables grown here, foraged, some bread, some meat. From the orcs we raise. And all of it raised or found by us with no shaper help. Sorry, didn't mean to give you an awakened lecture there. Just want to see if there's anything else. Yep, I don't need anything else. All right, come back when you were hungry. So I think there's a journal. Yeah, so I have quests. So I have meet the takers, meet the obeyers, find the stolen knife, eliminate the bandits, clear Watch Hill, escape Susa Island. Okay, well, this has been interesting first in a while stream. I'm very excited to continue, but I think I'm actually going to end it here. Take a look at the stream, make sure everything was working. And I'll probably start another one here in, not today, but in the next day or so. For sure. I want to get through this game. It's going to take a while, but it'll be really fun. So I hope everybody who's been here has enjoyed it so far. And we'll see what happens next. We're going to go visit a few people in the town and go clear out some bandits and stuff. So that'll be fun. All right, everybody. I'm going to try to just transition out into a different scene. There we go. Until next time, everybody. Enjoy.